What's going on, our space fam? Time for another out of this world story. Let's get into it. Me, 31 male, with my wife, 31 female. We've known each other basically our whole life, married for 8 years. Need advice on confronting her about infidelity. I've known her since 3rd grade. We were best friends in high school, started dating in college. We got married after college. Because of her history, I know her. While dating in college, we did have one break. She went on a couple of dates with this guy who was a coworker, Guy A. Once we got married and moved away, she continued to talk to this dude. I allowed it because I am dumb. She even met up with him once when he was in town. Again, I allowed it because I am dumb. She said he expected her to go back to this hotel with him, but she came home that night. That relationship and the chats ended around then because he didn't get any, or so I thought. Next, she started talking to a guy at her new job. We will call Guy B. This was roughly 3 years ago. They had a meetup, and things happened. Heavy petting is how best to describe it. Old school second base. She confessed to me after this meeting. This was a huge problem. We worked it out between us over a considerable amount of time. No more contact with this Guy B, or so I thought. Pattern anyone? Next, about a year and a half ago, she started talking to another guy at work. We will call Guy C. It started friendly and moved into dangerous territory. At one point, he left his wife, presumably for her. She admitted that things had gotten out of hand when she confessed it to me. I had no idea again. Nothing physical happened, and I believe her. Or I believed her at the time. They decided to be friends, and I kind of believe they are. I read a lot of texts and emails between them, with permission, and they are all commiserating about work. She still talks to him. More on this later. Back about 5 months ago, I found text messages between her and Guy B. They had met up again. This time, a lot more happened. And this is where crap gets a little complicated. I found the text by honest mistake. I'm not getting into how because it's besides the point. She admitted that this time they had done more than second base. Old school third base according to her. I believed her at the time. This was a huge problem. I was and am devastated. We talked endlessly about this. I would have walked out the door if it weren't for the fact that we had just had a baby girl who was 5 months old at the time. I stayed for her. We kind of worked through a lot of it. We talked about counseling but haven't made it yet. That is being rectified today. I've got the insurance approval and a number to make an appointment. Also, she agreed to cut all contact with this dude. They work different shifts, so I don't think they can talk at work, but I can never be sure. I believed they cut off contact at the time. I know I sound incredibly naive and I may be the dumbest man on the planet, but it gets worse. Since the second thing with Guy B, I've been really suspicious about a lot of stuff. Better late than never, I guess. So I started snooping. Every chance I get, I go through her phone. I track her whereabouts with the Find My iPhone thing, and this is what I found. Guy C, still talking. 99% work-related commiseration, but there is a little bit of flirting. A tiny bit. On both ends. Last week, my wife had to travel out of town for the day, and they met up briefly. I basically watched by monitoring her phone, and without being prompted, she told me about seeing him that night when we both got home. It was a public place, so I doubt anything happened. They are friends, according to her. However, I found an email from about 2 months ago where she says some things that are clearly beyond the scope of friendship. I don't want to give up what we have, etc. Nothing sexual, but definitely more than friends. Then, last night, I started to look back at our phone bills for the last 6 to 8 months. I found numerous calls between her and Guy C. Most are at odd hours in the middle of the night, and she talks to him more than anyone else. Guy B, there was no contact that I knew of between them for a while, but I found a phone call from his number last month that occurred in the middle of the night and lasted a long freaking time. I will point out she doesn't know I know Guy B and Guy C's phone numbers. So, they are talking again. As I'm typing this all out, I'm just thinking, what the F? Guy A? Oh, I thought this was a thing of the distant effing past. But no. This morning, while she was in the shower, I got on her phone and looked at her emails. Then I looked deeper at sent emails, where I had found the more than friends email sent to Guy C, and I found emails to the freaking guy from last freaking week. I hadn't seen or heard about this a-hole for years. Years. Now she is sending him nude pics? God freaking doing it. And here is the cherry on top of it all. She got a call last week that she had an irregular PAP and has HPV. I read up on it, and it's possible that it's been dormant all these years, right? So I asked her, is there anything else you need to tell me? She says that her meeting with Guy B a few months back may have been more than third base, but she was too drunk to remember. At the time I bought it, because she's gotten blackout drunk with me and doesn't remember crap we did the night before. But after processing that effing comment for a little bit, no, I didn't want to believe that trickle truth was happening, but here it frickin' is. First of all, what the F is wrong with me? Why am I just out getting all this? F me. I mean, I'm realizing the extent of my stupidity as I'm typing this right now. Second, I want to confront her with the email crap and the phone calls and some timeline crap that isn't adding up. But should I wait to gather more evidence? Should I get a voice activator recorder to buck her house? Am I turning into a lunatic? Third, how should I approach the confrontation? I got another number that I don't know, and she has frequent combos with, often late at night. I want to be able to pin her down on some stuff, catch her in a lie, etc. Fourth, I do want to save this marriage, if only for our child, but also because despite everything, I still love her. I know she has issues that are manifesting themselves in reckless sexual behavior and boundary issues with men. Those are symptoms of a larger problem in my eyes. The bigger problem being abandonment, daddy, self-esteem issues that go way back. Like I said, I know her. Probably better than she knows herself. I tried to fix those issues by being that man that stays, the man that treats her right, the man that loves her. But it isn't enough. Let me add here that our relationship is fantastic aside from this. But other than that, Mrs. Lincoln, how was the play? We have amazing sex that has gotten a million times better the last 3 years. We are a great couple in social situations, we communicate so well, again, aside from miscrap, and we have a beautiful, amazing child. From the outside looking in, we are perfect, and I'm sure a few of her friends hate us for being so good together. If they only knew. She says that she compartmentalizes all of these trysts, that she doesn't think about me when she does it. That was very hurtful when she said it, but I understand it on a certain level too. Not condoning anything, but I kinda get it. So that's me right now. And on to the update. I'm at the walk-in getting tested as we speak. Gonna pick up a DNA kit on my way home. I really appreciate all the comments. They are unanimous. Divorce the cheating bee, which I expected. And really, hearing all the comments about my own stupidity were helpful. I heard Mike Rowe talk about Aristotle's definition of tragedy as the moment when the hero comes face to face with his true identity. I never really understood that until now. I am face to face with my identity as a doormat, as a fool, as someone who is being manipulated, and has been for years. It's not a pleasant feeling, so thank you for the wake-up call. I don't really know yet what I'm going to do after this. The first step is admitting there's a problem, right? I plan on talking to her, maybe tonight, maybe after I hear back, but it will be hard to hide my feelings. For the first time, I have really allowed divorce to be an option for myself. Probably talk to some lawyer friends tomorrow. I know you guys got some comments, so leave them down below, but let's check in with the community and see what they had to say. Happy Endings for All says, something has gone wrong with your wife, not you. What is happening with her is not healthy. Please help her get treatment, therapy for her alone too, and probably meds for her. This is not a cheating problem. This is a she has lost her mind problem. Juggling this many people, calling up in the middle of the night, instead of sleeping, getting blackout drunk, etc., sounds manic. This is not about you being a so-called doormat. Her behavior is way beyond normal. It's good to take care of yourself and be clear that you can only take so much, but please realize she has lost her way and will need help getting back to normal. There may be family history, etc. Talk to professional therapists experienced with bipolar disturbances and the like. Erection says, bro, I am terribly sorry you've gone through this whole ordeal. I couldn't imagine finding out that someone I have loved for so long and known practically my entire life could do this to me. I can kind of relate because I'm only a year younger and have been with my wife for about 10 years, married to, no kids but trying. I'll address your questions here. First, maybe you were too trusting. I don't know. Don't beat yourself up about it. Whatever problems there were in this marriage, this crap is 100% on her. You are taking the right steps. The DNA and STD testing shows that you are a smart man. You make good decisions. You made imperfect decisions with imperfect information. Divorce would be pretty much the only way I could get over this, but it's easy for me to say when I have no kids. Second, I say to get a recorder to protect yourself above all else. But if you think you need to bug the house, I say go for it, but be very careful. At this point, she's not to be trusted. You wouldn't be the first person who's been protected by a voice-activated recorder if she tries to play dirty. Legal ramifications aside, you never want to give away your sources. She will just hide it better in the future. Third, back up all evidence and secure it to an off-site source. Bonus points for redundancy. I would let her know that divorce is on the table, but talk to the lawyers first. If you can confront with evidence and paperwork, i.e. separation agreement, divorce papers, whatever, that might give you more leverage. You can't nice her back into the relationship. You have to play hardball. Quit being so nice all the dang time. Fourth, you can't save her. You've done everything possible at this point. You can give her the world, and this still would have happened. I can understand why you want to save your marriage at this point. I really do. But who's going to save you? Here is something you should take into consideration. What if you're clean? So you say with her, one night things get hot and heavy, and you get HPV. Then you find out she's doing this again. What then? It's hard enough moving on as a single father. HPV will just complicate things further.